Back in August, Father Gary Daly, director of the Newman Catholic Center at UMass in Amherst, led a Catholic communications pilgrimage to Belgium and Germany. This week, in part 3 of our series, our pilgrims make their way into Bavaria, where beer is a staple and a 400-year-old tradition becomes the highlight of this 10-day spiritual journey. Join us now as our pilgrims experience the famous Oberammergau Passion Play.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. After a good night's sleep and a hearty breakfast, we board the bus leaving Heidelberg and head south to beautiful Bavaria, making our way to the famous Andechs Monastery. With a 4-hour journey behind us, a pleasant surprise awaits our group. Walking up a steep hill, we find ourselves on an outdoor patio overlooking the beautiful valley and the famous Alps. We are able to taste 10 different beers.
Clink, clink.
And enjoy the history of brewing as told us by our local guide.
The water had a lot of bacteria. They got sick from water. And they didn't know why, but here they didn't get sick.
The Andechs Monastery Brewery is the largest in Germany. The monks have been observing the Benedictine brewing tradition since 1455. After an hour of tasting and eating, we make another climb up a steep hill on what is known as the Holy Mountain. What we see today was created as part of the 300th anniversary celebration in 1755. The flamboyant Baroque architecture dates from this period, as does the distinctive bell tower, which can be seen from miles away. We have the joy of celebrating Holy Mass in the beautiful Abbey Chapel. The body of Christ. The body of Christ. Following Mass, we make the steep decline to our bus to make our way to our hotel with beautiful rooms overlooking some magnificent scenery. No air conditioning needed in this hotel. The nights dip into the mid-40s for a great night's sleep. Following a delicious Bavarian breakfast, we make our way through the winding Alpine road for Holy Mass in another magnificent Benedictine monastery called Ethel Abbey. At an altitude of 3,000 feet above sea level, it is nestled in between two valleys. This monastery was founded in 1330 by King Louis IV. Ethel is one of Bavaria's architectural highlights, with its striking and unique monastery grounds. The mighty basilica contains magnificent Baroque architecture. Today, 30 monks live in the abbey under the rule of Saint Benedict. It is a joy to celebrate Mass in this beautiful and holy place. We make a short trek to the village of Oberammergau to witness the highlight of our pilgrimage, the famous Passion Play. Our pilgrims have plenty of time before the play to enjoy the village with its many shops and restaurants. Oberammergau is famous for its wood carvings and Christmas shops, and of course, the famous cuckoo clocks. The population of the solidly Catholic Oberammergau is around 5,400, and around 2,400 of its inhabitants, including children, act.
Ist das Gottes Haus? Oder ist es ein Marktplatz?
Play music, and work on 103 performances over a 4.5-month period from mid-May to October. Only inhabitants or those born in Oberammergau are permitted to be part of the play. Many of the young children participating in the play become major actors as they grow older. The parts are chosen 2 years in advance of the play, so the actors can grow their beards and hair for the performances. Performing for about 450,000 people from 40 different countries. It's worth noting that no one in the production is paid. All of the profits from the play are put back into the village for infrastructure and facilities. The intricate costumes and stage props are all made by local crafters. Some props date back 200 years, like the table and stools used for the Last Supper scene. The story of the Passion Play began nearly 400 years ago. A great plague ravaged parts of Europe, and the survivors in Oberammergau made a vow in 1633 to portray Christ's suffering, death, and resurrection every 10 years. Their prayers were answered, and their promise was fulfilled as they showed the first Passion Play in 1634. It's somewhat ironic that the Passion Play had to be delayed 2 years because of a worldwide pandemic, COVID-19. Nestled among the Bavarian Alps, the theater is set for 4,500 guests. The guests are seated comfortably under a roof, but the stage is open to afternoon and evening sky with the mountains in the background, providing for an amazing backdrop as the Passion unfolds on stage. The music for the play is breathtaking. The length of the play is just over 5 hours long. After the first 2.5 hours, everyone exits the theater to go for dinner in the village. We enjoy a great Bavarian meal in a local restaurant before we head back to the theater for the remaining 2.5 hours, entering into the darker and more intense moments of Jesus' passion and death. The climax of the Passion Play unfolds with the crucifixion scene. The drama surrounding this scene is intense. It is a somber moment in the theater, but then the magnificent scene of the resurrection takes place.
Halleluja! Ist erstanden!
The play ends in alleluias, and the performers leave the stage in jubilation. There is no stage bow because this play is not about the people of the Oberammergau village, but rather about Jesus Christ risen from the dead. What a magnificent performance tonight, the Passion Play. It was just truly amazing and certainly historical for sure. An amazing testimony of faith lived and performed for 450 years. Join us next week as we make our way to the capital of Bavaria, the great city of Munich, for the final days of our pilgrimage.
Thanks so much to Father Gary and our videographer, editor Bill Pecosha for sharing this amazing production, the result of so many talented people. Make sure to tune in next week as this 10-day pilgrimage wraps up in the beautiful city of Munich, Germany. We'll even hear from some of the pilgrims themselves on what made the trip for them so special.